Good morning, everyone. I hope my voice is audible. Can someone give me a thumbs up? Hello?
Yes, sir. You are
Yes,
very
yes.
Awesome. All right, then. Well, thank you so much for joining this fireside chat. Like I said, we received over 100 attendees or 100 registration for the fireside chat. And then, we have quite a few attendees still joining us. But it's already 11:35. So we will get started. We are recording this session anyway. Okay, so if someone misses it, so we will be able to share the recording with them later on. All right, so here we go. My name is Sanket Nayak. I lead the channel business at ITCG, oversee all the products that ITCG basically has, and then work extensively closely with the entire Sophos team. Now, the entire agenda for this fireside chat is to basically have a general discussion, okay, with our Sophos representative, Tanvir Sheikh, who is the manager of sales engineering at Sophos, right? Has been with Sophos for over 5 years now, right? And then carries amazingly well knowledge when it comes to Sophos and then the engineering team, right? So the idea here was to kind of, get away from the usual webinars, right? And have more of a discussion, right? So that's where this entire thought of fireside chat comes into picture. Okay, and then there you guys see as well, right? We also have Suchita Shah, right, who leads or who is the product manager for Sophos at ITCG. All right, so she'll be hosting this entire session. And then we are privileged to have Tanvir Sheikh from Sophos, right, who will be sharing his knowledge. Moving on, I'm going to take 5 minutes talking about ITCG, and then we will move on to the fireside chat, right? So, I'm going to discuss something about the professional services as well that ITCG offers, right? We also have ITCG Sophos promo going on. And then after that, we will move on to the fireside chat, right? And then at the end, we also have quiz. So I would request and urge everyone to stay till the end of this entire fireside chat, be or take part into this quiz, and then get a chance to win some amazing vouchers. All right. So stay tuned till the end. Okay. And make sure that you join this quiz. Now, as you guys know that at ITCG, we value our partners the most, right? We are built for partners backed by trust. So we really go away with that mantra. ओके और हम लोग जब भी कभी भी कुछ भी करते हैं देन वी ऑलवेज मेक श्योर कि हमारे पार्टनर्स जो हैं वो सेंटर ऑफ द अट्रैक्शन हो. नाउ विद द सेम थॉट आईटीसीजी हम लोगों ने एक पूरा टेक्निकल टीम भी बनाया है. ओके सो देयर आर क्लोज टू 18 engineers. All these engineers are Sophos certified, right? Spread across Mumbai, Pune, and then we also have engineers at spread remotely, right? So these are the engineers who will be able to support you, right? No matter where you are. अगर आप मुंबई में हो, आप पुणे में हो, अगर मान लीजिए कि किसी और जगह पे हैं, तो हमारे पास रिमोट टीम भी है who can really help you with configuration and everything. So anyways, ये जो पूरा प्रोफेशनल टीम का जो थॉट प्रोसेस है, राइट, वो थॉट प्रोसेस ये है कि हम आपके साथ ना ही सिर्फ सेल्स के टाइम पे रहना चाहते हैं, बट we also want to help you before the sales and after the sales. Okay, be that on demand remote support. Okay, और अगर कोई क्विक इश्यू अगर आपके कस्टमर को आया है जिसको अब रिजॉल्व करना है, we are there, right? So ये जो हमारा प्रोफेशनल टीम है, right, that can work as the extension of your own team. Okay, right, and that's basically how we take it. Okay, extremely focused on partners. right? And like I said, the idea was to empower partners to focus on the most important thing, which is closing more business. Okay, and then you can leave your technical support, right, or configuration part on us, and then rest assured that it will get done. And मैं सिर्फ ये बोलने के लिए नहीं बोलता, right? Like I said, the team is Sophos certified. These are some recent certification, okay, that the team really has. I just wanted to make sure that you guys get to see it, right? That the support that you get is actually the quality support. Okay, now moving on to more exciting stuff. We have launched a promo, especially for Sophos. Okay, very simple promo, right? Very simple criteria. ठीक है, आपको सिर्फ इतना ही करना है कि आपको 15 लाख का बिजनेस सेल क्लोज करना है सोफोस के लिए, ठीक है. एंड देन ये जो उसका प्रोमो पीरियड है दैट इज स्टार्टिंग October 1st टिल 31st of December. ओके, एंड दैट्स इट. और कुछ नहीं करना है, राइट? सिर्फ 15 lakhs का सोफोस के प्रोडक्ट सेल करो एंड देन get a chance to win fully sponsored वियतनाम ट्रिप. ओके, आपको सिर्फ ये सेल 1st of October से लेके 31st of December के टाइम के अंदर क्लोज करना है. एंड दैट्स प्रीटी मच इट, राइट? Our team is fully equipped to take any questions or queries that you may have. So अगर आपको और जानकारी चाहिए इसके बारे में तो please reach out to us. Okay, right? And that's basically it. Now, without taking any further time, I'm going to pass it on to Suchita. All right. And then we will start with the amazing fireside chat session. Over to you, Suchita.
गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन, थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग अस. मतलब इतना सुबह के टाइम पे वीकडे पे हमने आपको बुलाया है और आप लोग आए हो, ज्वाइन किए हो. प्लीज मेक अ यूज ऑफ इट. दिस सेशन इज समथिंग डिफरेंट व्हाट वी ऑर्गेनाइज्ड इन जनरल. तो इसमें आपको जो भी इनपुट्स है आप गैदर करिए. आपको इफ यू नीड एनी काइंड ऑफ हेल्प फ्रॉम आवर साइड, आई एम हैविंग, वी आर ऑल हियर टू हेल्प यू. So let me first introduce myself and then my team. So I handle the Sophos business in ITCG from 2019. So it's been 8 years. I am connected with you all, and more I want to connect with you. So if you need any kind of help from my end, do let me know. See, I have grown myself from, I can see myself where I was in 2019, and I can see myself where I am standing right now. So it's nothing but your support that I have grown in my organization, in my professional and personal career. It's just all because of your partners support. So thank you so much once again कि आप लोगों ने मुझे इतना support दिया, आगे भी देंगे और हम ऐसे jointly काम करेंगे. We will grow the Sophos business together. बिकॉज यू ऑल नो कि सोफोस एक ऐसा ब्रांड है जिसका ग्रोथ अनलिमिटेड है. So we are having so many things to do in market. We are having so many things to cater our customers, cater your customers. We are your extended army. If you need any kind of help in your customers requirement and all, आप कभी भी हमको reach out करो. So in my team, I am having Pooja. You all know Pooja Zore, who is handling the Pune fresh business. So if you need any kind of fresh, if you have any kind of fresh inquiry for Pune West Maharashtra region, Pooja will be the one point contact. For Mumbai, we are having two team members, Ashmita and Urvi. So Ashmita madam basically handles the whole renewal of ITCG. Plus, she is handling the Mumbai business as in fresh also. Urvi is also a Mumbai. Urvi is handling the Mumbai region as in fresh. So if you need any kind of training, if you need any kind of assistance on solution, if you need any kind of help in solution designing, reach out to any of us. We are having a pre-sales team sitting in Mumbai and Pune, both the regions. So Mumbai partners, if you want to go on customer meeting and if you want to take our pre-sales expert with you, they will become your organization's part and they will come with you to the customer side, and they will understand the requirement and design the solutions. For same goes with Pune. Pune also we are having three engineers sitting in the Pune's office. So if Pune partners want any kind of help on-site, they can. Many of the partners are leveraging these technical champs. They are taking them with their customer meeting and all. So any one of you has not done yet, please request us. Please reach out to us. We are happy to help you. And nothing else, just I just need your continuous support to grow the business to the next level. ये 8 साल में बहुत अच्छा ग्रो किया है, पर अगले साल आने वाले सालों में और डबल ग्रो करना है. तो वंस अगेन थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर सपोर्ट, और ऐसे आगे भी ऐसे कंटिन्यूअस सपोर्ट देते रहना. So I think Sanket sir, Tanvir sir, we start with our main agenda of this session, the podcast.
Absolutely. And before we start, thank you to the ITCG team, for calling me for this fireside chat. In fact, what Suchita said, I really agree with her. It's something new, more interactive, and I want it to be interactive. So if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand, and ask me your questions. We have keep it very, to the market, to the point. So I believe most of your questions would be answered in that. So hopefully with that, we'll start. But before I start, I'll just introduce myself. Sujita did that. So I am with Sophos and my name is Tanvir Sheikh. I'm there with Sophos for almost close to 7 years now, and been there, and that overall experience, you can say it's close to 15 years. Starting with IT, then cybersecurity. So I've seen how cybersecurity has evolved till date. So I know, from the IDS to the IPS, how the thing has evolved. So EDR, XDR, the next generation endpoint. So feel free to ask me any questions you have, and hopefully I'll try to, make sure that we keep you, updated with all the answers to the point, and make sure that when you leave this session today, all your questions are answered. Over to you, Sisita. So we can start now.
Yeah. तो तनवीर सर, वी हैव आई हैव प्रिपेयर्ड सम क्वेश्चंस जो हम पार्टनर्स लोगों से जब बात करते हैं बाय कॉल, और जब पार्टनर्स लोगों को हम मिलते हैं, तो
Okay.
जनरली उनके जो भी क्वेश्चंस आते हैं हमको, आई एम ट्राइंग टू आंसर दोस क्वेश्चंस फॉर ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ ऑल द पार्टनर्स. So to all the audience, if you are having any other questions which I am asking, we will have a question answer time. In that time you can type your questions in the chat box and all. So my first question to Tanvir is why Sophos? Like बहुत सारे partners हमको ऐसा पूछते हैं कि हम Sophos क्यों करें. So how
Correct.
Sophos is positioning itself against the emerging cyber threats trends in the market?
Absolutely correct. In fact, I'll just give a real life example for this. Yesterday, I was in a meeting, and I was on a call. In fact, met a CFO, and the first question when the CFO entered was, why Sophos? And there are so many competitors in the market. And then I, showed him this. So what I have done today is, I thought I'll speak, but you'll have some, data to show you, so that
Okay.
you can actually see what we try to portray to the customer. So when you are speaking to customer on behalf of Sophos, maybe individually or along with Suchita's team, so that you can actually speak out the same and present the same data. So I'll just Suchita, I'll just share my slides. Okay, so this sharing
Okay.
go off for just and check on if you are able to see my screen.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's
Okay, we can see it
Yes,
now.
it's
I can-
visible.
Yeah, thanks for the confirmation. So if you see about Sophos, the very first thing, an important thing is, the experience counts, and Sophos is into the cybersecurity industry for close to 40 years, 4 decades. So we have been into this market. We have that experience, we have that expertise. And the second biggest point which, I speak to customer is strategic partnership. So I am not sure if you all are aware of. If you are, maybe put a thumbs up, that Sophos has a strategic alliance with 130 industry leader OEMs.
Okay.
When I say OEMs, it is like how Sophos is an OEM. There are other OEMs in the market who have tools which are connected with some part of cybersecurity, like the AV engines, URL filtering, categorization, but the product is there, but they don't have that expertise, and they come to Sophos for that expertise. And these type of OEMs have tied up with us, and there are 130 plus OEMs who are using our engines, like
Okay.
our AV engines, URL filtering engines, and there are multiple threat intel platform. So that's where the confidence build up with the customer. One is our experience, the other is the strategic partnership. Now to show you the real world information of Sophos is, so Sophos has 6 lakhs plus customers for endpoint firewalls. I have a slide which I'll speak about the entire ecosystem of Sophos, but 6 lakhs plus customers globally for the Sophos product portfolio. The very important thing is, for a cybersecurity company, threat analyst, research specialist, because if I'm getting something on the product from the security point of view, feature point of view, I should understand the threat landscape. Now, what a threat landscape is, very simple. Your infrastructure or a customer's infrastructure, it can be
Yes.
endpoint, cloud, networking, everything is all considered as a threat landscape. In short, as you get a technology, like if you get an Azure Entra ID for identity, that also ends into a threat landscape. So in short, mota moti, what I'm trying to say is, जो भी technology आप adopt करते हो, that gets incorporated in the threat landscape. It is part of the threat landscape. So that's what it is. So हमारे threat researchers continuously they work, monitor, see that each and every threat landscape में what are the gaps and how Sophos can get into it and fulfill it. So that's what they do here. And then based on that, as I said earlier, कि data भी हमको pump होता है, threat data. That's the threat data coming from you, partners के infrastructure, customers के infrastructure से. Then the enterprise, where we have sorry, not the enterprise, the strategic partnership which we had. From there, all product gets better and the customer is benefited, less false positive. And it's not what I am saying it. If you see, trusted, recognized, and tested is by these industry leader research companies. Okay. Peer insight is by the customers. They share their feedback that how they like the product. So we continuously make sure we participate in all the tests and make sure that we give you the optimum, result. 60 time leaders in Gartner, top performer in MITRE. So you name it and we are there, and we are continuously evolving. Now, a very flagship feature of Sophos, which we talk about, is the MDR services. If you see 35,000 plus customers we have for managed detection only. This is an, services where a human-led analyst is watching what's happening in a customer environment. That's a biggest problem for all the customers. You sell the cybersecurity product, but the problem is they are not, having a proper visibility what's happening, and they are not able to protect it there. So MDR
I
services.
guess, Tanvir, I think many of the OEMs will not have the total customers of 35,000 plus, wherein Sophos is having only MDR customers in 35,000
Absolutely.
plus.
Correct. Yeah. So this
Yeah.
is just only MDR, Sujita, you rightly mentioned that this is just for MDR only. And the services is been, liked by the customers, and it is again been, verified by the industry that yes, Sophos delivers what it promises. And, you can see it here. So I'll quickly move to the other. And why we are able to give that visibility, if you see here, our target from day one is just not a product, but we are trying to build a platform. And if people who are using Sophos or have heard of Sophos, a decade back, we started a platform story where we had an endpoint, we acquired a company, Astaro, and then Cyberom. We built a new firewall, and what we did was we integrated them both. So when a customer bought an endpoint and a firewall, they got a threat sharing products and not just two silo products. And that's the story of this single platform, and that's a very distinguished story when we speak to customers. So this is why I would say, Suchita, to answer your first question, that about Sophos and why Sophos is better.
या तो पार्टनर्स आपने जैसे देखा 6 lakhs कस्टमर्स है ग्लोबली, तो इट्स अ ह्यूज नंबर. When you are going to customer meet, or if you want to present any kind of statistics, this is the one which you can present. Like 6 lakh customers globally is a huge number, and 35,000 plus customers for MDR is a very huge number. Like no one will have that 35,000 plus customers for only MDR. So, Tanvir, my second question is now, see, बहुत सारे पार्टनर्स ऑलरेडी फायरवॉल करते हैं, तो जब हम उनके साथ फायरवॉल का बात करते हैं तो वो हमको ऐसा बोलते हैं कि आपके फायरवॉल में ऐसा तो क्या है जो बाकी लोगों में नहीं है। तो
Correct.
to answer them, my question is that what is the top three things customer instantly notice about Sophos firewall as compared to competitions?
Absolutely. So that's a right ask, because when partners, you go to a customer and you speak to them, that is a very valid question from a customer as well. So I have put some points which I would like to share quickly. So the reason I am breaking it out is because it's not a webinar, so though we don't have a slide
Yes,
created, but just to answer them how it is. So see, a very important part from a customer point of view when he's buying a firewall, we have to tell him that, sir, we are not selling your product. We are trying to sell you a cybersecurity solution. Okay, and how it starts it
yes,
with a story of endpoint and firewall. So every customer, you would agree, has an endpoint and has a firewall, right? And if you see here the synchronized security integration, what we do here is, the good thing is we are not charging anything extra for a synchronized security. That is the
yes,
endpoint and
correct.
the firewall. Just buy the two products and the integration happens without any license. The good thing is we are not charging you anything for the firewall management, as well as the competitions, they charge you for that. So any number of firewalls, you buy the firewall license, the management license is included in that license. So you don't have to buy anything. Plus, this integration story is also there. I'll not read out the points. You can, just have a look at it. Second is very important, is what I have seen with customers, they buy the products. But the problem is, see, you would agree, partners, that your customers have a very problematic statement, that is skill sets. Okay.
Yes,
They are
correct.
customers,
Yes,
they don't have a skill set. And if they have, the person is busy because one single person is managing their endpoint, their servers, their firewall, their email, and whatever thing comes up in the environment, that particular person is responsible to handle it. So what Sophos has understood as that make things better and simple, and that's what our motto is. If you see here is if you see here is user friendly interface. It's not only for the firewall but across our product, easy to understand. Automation is there. So if you just look at
yes,
our IPsec configuration, very easy. If you look at the firewall configuration, easy. In just 4 steps you can create. There are tools to help you, in the particular firewall. So there are multiple things, which makes the overall product portfolio, not only the firewall, but yes, the firewall also has a very, intuitive management console, but the overall product is, getting easier and simpler. Third and important aspect is we are trying to put more automation and AI so that your work gets less. Now, when I
yes,
say your
yes,
work as a partner get less, is because if you see here, we're trying to get, automation to isolate things. We are getting AI into picture so that the detection is better. Your team doesn't have to go and sit and investigate everything. So
correct.
that's the, plan, that try to get everything automated so that, the customer and the partner benefits, less load on the partner to get the support, create a ticket. So less friction, from the support point of view, and more
Yes,
kind of focus on the business part. And then last and important is how this particular technology would impact the customer. And that's what the entire, discussion is all about. So if you see here what I said earlier as well, we have a story where we tell the customer, you get a firewall, you get an endpoint, and, the response is automated. So you don't have to do manual intervention. We have, training portal partner portal, where we have training certifications for the partner. You can train your people there, get them, certified on the products. So that helps. We give continuous, notification advisories, and we have webcast for the customers and the partners on what's evolving in the industry. And the biggest and the strongest point for the customer is the ROI. Now I'll give you how ROI. If you see that if you buy a Sophos firewall, there is, as I said, there is no management license. You get 30 days of on cloud reporting for all your firewalls. So for an example, if a customer has 10 firewall, he can manage all the 10 firewall from Sophos Central. He can launch
yes,
the web UI without any extra license cost. That's a biggest, thing which we have. 30 days reporting for all the firewall. New feature functionalities what we introduced, like in the endpoint, we introduced DNS protection. We introduced new feature capabilities, which for new customers is a license queue, but for the existing customers, it was included. Okay. And that's where, that's why I say that customer choose Sophos is the integration is smooth, usability gets better because automation is there. And we are trying to build the intelligence using the AI so that your work gets simpler as you go along with Sophos. So that's the plan, and that's what I should say, are the differentiator you could speak to your customers.
यस, करेक्ट। तो आई बहुत सारे पार्टनर्स का यही सवाल रहता है, तो आई थिंक हमने बहुत सारे पार्टनर्स का आंसर दिया है। और जब ये बात आती है, मतलब फायरवॉल, बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि द पार्टनर सजेस्टेड द फायरवॉल एंड ऑल, बट अल्टीमेटली द पार्टनर्स गोल इज टू अर्न मार्जिन्स। Ultimately, every organization's final goal is to earn margins. So my next question to you is, uh, Sophos is having some of the offers which I will describe, but if partners जब customers को pitch करते हैं, if customer is having existing firewall and if we are migrating them to Sophos, तो पहले तो कस्टमर रेजिस्ट करते हैं कि ये माइग्रेशन कैसे होगा, हमारा स्मूथ होगा कि नहीं, क्या चैलेंजेस आएंगे। So I am having two questions. First one is the incentives, what Sophos is offering to competition firewalls, and second is how Sophos offers partners to facilitate the smooth migration.
Okay.
Uh,
So yeah, you want to take that first part, or should I start with the migration?
So for first part, the incentive part I will take. So to all the partners, Sophos has launched a competition upgrade offer. Some of you has already closed the deals also in competition upgrade. Then the rest of you who has not closed the deals yet, please go to the customers. Sophos is offering a competition displacement program, in which if your customer is using any of the competition firewall like FortiGate or SonyCall, any kind of stuff, so Sophos is giving the hardware at a very discountable rate with 3-year subscription, plus they are giving the endpoint licenses of 25 endpoints and 3 server licenses for absolutely free with the hardware and license bundle. So this is a promo which Sophos is offering to all the partners. Many of the partners has taken the advantages. We have merged, we have migrated many of the FortiGate and SonyWall firewalls because of they are having some clauses. I am not saying that they are bad, but because उनके उसमें कुछ नहीं है जो Sophos में है, we have replaced. So partners, for incentives, yes, you are having the incentive scheme, the promo offer. Any of your customers, just reach out to us with the existing firewall details and we will give you a upgrade offer particularly for that appliance. So this is the offer which Sophos is running and which ITCG is running. So you can see we can share this the images with you also if you want to understand that if the customer is having which firewall and you need to pitch which firewall of Sophos. So 60% discount is there in the models which is 128, 138 and 2100. So partners, ये आपके ऊपर है, आप इसको कितना यूटिलाइज करते हो। So it's up to you how you want to convince your customer, how you want to grab this opportunity, and how you want to double your margins. बिकॉज अभी नए जो फायरवॉल बेच रहे हैं उसमें आपके अगेंस्ट इतने कॉम्पिटिशन है कि आपके पास मार्जिन कमाने का चांस नहीं है। सो दिस इज द चांस यू कैन डबल अप योर मार्जिन, यू कैन डबल, बिकॉज इसमें आप लेके आए हो इंक्वायरी, सो इट विल बी ओनली यू हु इज गेटिंग द अपग्रेड ऑफर। And now I think then we're over to you for the migration part.
Sure. So just to acknowledge what Suchita said, we are also helping our partners and customers and to migrate from Fortinet, SonicWall, or so how we can do that. First of all, using the automation. Second is wherever there is no automation, but still ITCG team or Sophos, whatever best we can do to help you, we can. So I'll just show you one slide. So for for partners who have an partner portal login, I'm sure they must have seen this. But for partners who don't, we have an migration desk, and in the partner portal, if you log in under the tech, you will see an migration assistance section where you can take an help of migrating your configuration of SonicWall and Fortinet onto the Sophos Firewall. So this is not a video. I'm just showing you. Uh, this is an image of TechWeeds. So TechWeeds, if you're not aware, so Sophos support has created configuration troubleshooting related videos of all
Okay.
Sophos products. That can be your firewall, that can be your endpoint, or any product which or any product which you feel like going for. So we have a video for that. And this is just
Okay.
one part of what Suchita mentioned on the migration, how we can help. Or if you want to do it by yourself, you have both the options available. So as you see here on the screen, okay, this is a video. There are links. We have a video link, as well as we have a document which says how you can migrate. There is a migration desk email address as well. You can, partners can reach them directly or via the ITCG team and get an idea of, put the backup there, and their team would help, or you can do it, as I said, by yourself using the videos. So just use these links, watch the videos, and that will help you to migrate the SonicWall and Fortinet configuration, and it will make it compatible for the Sophos firewalls.
Okay. And partners, as Tanvir has mentioned, the TechVids, you can help, you can take a help of TechVids, and also we are having our own technical team, sitting in our all the offices and remotely also. So you can reach out to any of them. You can reach out to our salesperson, and they will align a technical person. If you are having any kind of questions from customers regarding the migration, reach out to us. Like, we are happy to help. So now, Tanvir, going on a next question. My question is, पार्टनर्स लोग जब कस्टमर के पास जाते हैं, बहुत सारे ऐसे पार्टनर्स हैं जो मल्टीपल ब्रांड्स में डील करते हैं. लाइक दे आर लाइक कि कस्टमर जो मांगेंगे वो हम देंगे. तो
Correct.
जो पार्टनर्स है, मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऐसा है कि व्हाट एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ सोफोस टेक्नोलॉजी गिव पार्टनर्स अ कम्पिटिटिव एज इन द मार्केट. जब वो कस्टमर्स के पास जाते हैं तो वो ऐसा क्या बोल सकते हैं जिससे सोफोस टॉप पे आएगा, और क्या ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी बात कर सकते हैं जिससे दे कैन कन्विंस कस्टमर्स फॉर सोफोस.
Correct. So यहाँ पे, or for this particular question, you can have a combination of two things. Okay, one is the first slide which I spoke about, the
Okay.
OEM strategy which I spoke
Yes.
about. See, if a
Yes.
customer is buying a security product, the very
Yeah.
important, the first part is how good we are when it comes to security. So that
Yeah.
is the first thing which you need to include in this question. And the other aspect is that you should speak to the customers are. So number one is, as I said, unified platform. So the reason why I'm putting this across is you saw the product list which I had. It's an extensive list of cybersecurity product portfolio which you have. And each
Yes.
and every product can be managed from the same console. I'll give a very good example, a real world example I've seen with customers. The customers who log in on our central, maybe say for an example, a customer has an endpoint and a customer has a firewall. Okay.
Yes.
Now he has some activity to be done on the firewall. He logs in on Sophos Central. There are certain detections which are happening on the endpoint, but the customers, they never see that. But because he logged in on the Sophos Central to see some configurations or maybe do a configuration of firewall or either of the ways, he logged in on the Central to do a configuration on the endpoint, and there were some detections on the firewall. So either of the ways, this particular console actually helps and notifies the end user when they log in that there is an attack happening, and Sophos is working on it. Kindly mitigate it by
Yes.
taking steps which are there in the alerts. The problem I am putting this to you is, and you would agree, I have met customers, and I would say 99% customers, what they tend to do is whatever emails Sophos sends them as an alert notifications, they
Yes.
create a rule in their email service provider's inbox which says if an email comes from Sophos, move it to box number 1, notification box number 2, firewall alerts box number 3. The problem is we are sending you notifications, we are sending you alerts. but the end user has moved it. Before it could even land on the particular inbox, it is moved to a particular box which the customer never sees. He only sees when there is an attack. But at least with the unified platform architecture, when he logs in to do a configuration or do anything, maybe download something for a firewall, at least he can see what's happening on the alert. So
Yes, yes.
consolidated alerts on the same dashboard, so which helps, which notifies the customer. So this is very good point. No other vendors, have that. We started first. We are the pioneer. Okay,
Okay.
now the total cost of ownership reduces because if you have one console, if one person is able to handle everything, which the actual intent of an organization is, as I said, one admin manages everything. If I give everything to that particular admin on a single console, it actually helps from a customer point of view because they are not investing in an IT. Okay, so the IT, if they have a dashboard, their
Yes.
works get easy. Okay, no training cost because the console is the same console. There are multiple things which are consolidated in the same console. The notification, the
Correct.
alerts, the actions, all our alerts are self-explanatory, which says, what happened, how happened, and what is the next plan of the action which you need to do. So everything is mentioned in the alert itself. Very easy. So this is where it helps. The second point which you see here, high performance. What I'm trying to tell here is if you see that Sophos is, investing a lot on the hardware. So the XGS hardware, if you see here, if you compare the XGS hardware to the previous version of XG, the XG product performance here has increased. Port density has increased. Okay, earlier it to a count was less, the count is more. We were giving 1 Gbps, now we're giving 2.5 Gbps. We have started giving PoE. So what happens here is smaller offices where they want an AP, they don't have to buy, an API, a PoE switch or an injector. 4 ports connected there, smaller office can get that power. So this is what I'm trying to say. High performance, flexibility, cost is less. So that's where, it is very good. And the automation
Yes.
feature, in fact, we are getting a newer version, which is version 22, where we are also getting feature where the customers can actually monitor the configuration with a security framework. We have started
Okay.
with the CIS benchmarking, but then slowly it will go to NIST. So these are some industry benchmarking and best practices, which says how a security product or an organization should function with these best practices. So we are adopting the part of the firewall and we are showing you that where your firewall stands. So this is, the features and automations which we are getting in the dashboard. It's there for the endpoint. Partner program from Sophos, from ITCG is there, but that's not it, right? Very important is partnership, how the partnership is working for you from ITCG point of view. So if you see here, ITCG was constantly and every time emphasizing on one thing, that was reach out to us. We have a team. We'll help you for configuration.
Yes.
Take our sales team. They'll be an extended arm to you, and they'll work as if it is your employee. So that's something which we say dedicated partner support. We have a good channel of partners and partners, sub distributors, and that's where this is something very good and important point which you can put to the customers. Just to give an idea to the partners, we have 4,000 partners across India. Close to 1,500 are the active partners who are doing Sophos business. So that's the reach we have, and thanks to you, it's all because of you. And the important part is certification for the partners. You don't have to pay anything extra. It's there on the console. Your team can go take the training for endpoint, email, firewall, whatever product you want to sell in, you can take the training there on the portal. And the last and very important part is I spoke about synchronized security. I like to speak on the XDR integration. So I don't know how many of you are aware that Sophos has changed the licensing for the XDR, has introduced a new SKU on the endpoint, which is called Sophos EDR as a new SKU. Earlier, we didn't have that. We had an endpoint, and then after the endpoint, we used to directly jump to an XDR and then an MDR. But now we have a SKU for endpoint, which says Sophos endpoint, Sophos EDR, XDR, and MDR. And what improvement has come in XDR is we have enabled all the integrations now. We are not charging a single license to the customer. They can just buy an XDR and integrate their Fortinet, their Palo Altos, their whatever product they use, Zscaler, whichever we support, they can integrate them on the particular console and get the security events alerts. This also helps, and it takes you to the same first, point, unified platform. So with the third-party integration, the customer is also getting a unified platform from threat point of view, wherein they can see the threat detection alerts, everything on one dashboard. So that's the motive, and that's the goal going forward of Sophos. So that's the key aspect I
आई
would
गेस
say.
तनवीर, अगर कस्टमर के पास सोफोस का फायरवॉल नहीं है, मतलब बहुत सारे ऐसे कस्टमर्स होंगे जो अभी फायरवॉल यूज नहीं कर रहे हैं, वी कैन गिव देम अ सोफोस एंड पॉइंट विथ XDR, जहां पे हमको इंटीग्रेशंस फ्री मिल रहे हैं.
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. So partners, please note that as per our suggestions, you suggest Sophos firewall and Sophos endpoint, but anyhow, if customer is having any existing firewall which is not coming for due, or customer is not ready to upgrade that firewall currently, you can sell endpoints to them also. It's not like if customer is not having Sophos firewall, we cannot sell Sophos endpoint. तो अभी मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऐसा है कि बहुत हमने टेक्नोलॉजीज की बात कर ली, हमने सब प्रूफ पॉइंट्स भी दे दिए, बट व्हाट इन द रियल सिनारियो, लाइक is there, can you highlight any real world scenario where Sophos has solved a complex problem of customer and we have solved the complexity of customer and we have moved them to a simplicity, or we have moved them to a unified approach?
Absolutely, we have multiple use cases, in fact, customer success story. So to add to what Suchita just mentioned, I would like to put across that the customer success story itself is something which speaks about how the deployment actually happened. And so I'll just like to share my thoughts here on this question is. So see, as I started my discussion saying that Sophos is all this in the industry from last 4 decades, 40 years. And you can see here, so we have customers across the vertical, you name it, we have it: healthcare, medical, financial services, banking, manufacturing, industrial, education, and research institutes. You can name an vertical and we would be there with a firewall or an endpoint or an email security or any product, which you can think of. And what this actually means for the customer is that when you speak to a customer as a partner, and if he is from the same vertical, I would share this presentation. So there are questions coming in to share. So we'll share this presentation with you. This link, the customer success story link, actually gives an idea to a customer that how a similar vertical, what were their pain points and how Sophos address it. We have documents as well which speaks on what is the customer network, okay, what were they using earlier, what are their security challenges, or overall enterprise challenges, and how Sophos technology was able to get that all ticked and solve the problem for them. So that's what it is mentioned here. This documents which I would share with you later on, you can look at it. These links you can access and get an idea of how Sophos was able to deliver. But what I've done is to get few of them answered for you. I have taken the real world scenario and put them into a network, a topology where partners, you can visualize, because I know you would be visiting customers, okay, their network, so you would be able to visualize what I'm trying to tell you here. So I have taken a few, a different use cases and created a network diagram architecture for you to better understand. And what you see here, in this particular presentation. So these are Sophos technologies: APs, NDR, switches, protection for server, Sophos switches, Sophos APs, Sophos endpoints. This is the central management console. Okay. And sorry, this is central management console. This is the IT managing it. How the branches are managed from Sophos Central, how the entire ecosystem of products are managed by Sophos Central, how the firewalls, are configured in an active or active passive configuration for resilience. Customer would say, "Mera business important hai, I want uptime." So how the HA works. If there's a branch with a single firewall, you can go with a single firewall. If a customer wants a firewall with an access point because it's a a ROHO kind of a setup, we have a hardware which supports a wireless, as you can see here. So any requirement the customer has, he can fit our solution there for them. So that's what this particular network topology is trying to explain. So if you see here, ease of deployment, how we do it, performance and resilience, how we do it, and which are the products involved here, what you can see. Okay.
Yes.
Second is remote working. This is also a very important. So remote workers, every customer nowadays have post-COVID. Okay. And how that works, how that integrates with the Sophos ecosystem, and how you can benefit from that. Synchronized security, how that helps here. Okay, ZTNA, how you can position ZTNA, what are the benefits you can get out of the ZTNA. So everything, you can see here. So remote workers connecting to the identity. So ZTNA, we all know, is a trust, doesn't rely on explicit trust, so it needs identity. It does a validation of, checking the user machines. And the last and important is the health. So these are the, three pillars which the ZTNA looks for. And so the identity can be your on-premise AD, or it can be your Entra ID. We can integrate with it, get the validation, authorize the application to the network.
Yes.
It can be in branch or cloud or main offices, wherever it is. So this is one use case which usually customers come to us for. And the third one is the SD-WAN. These are something which, is coming to us from all the customers, that, how SD-WAN can benefit. So some customers have chaos. Okay, so if you see a remote factories, industries, you don't need to install a firewall. We have a device called SD-RAD. You can deploy that. It creates a VPN, and the entire monitoring can happen. And the good thing is we don't require IT for it. That's the beauty of this particular device. It's a plug and play device. Firewalls, we spoke about cloud firewalls now. This is something new which was not there in the earlier scenario. Customer has an environment on Azure, AWS. They can deploy a cloud firewall, create a safe tunnel there, and they can use their applications, development, DevSecOps operations, everything via that particular firewall. So that's another scenario which you can speak to your customers. You have an on-prem, you have an off-site warehouses, you have branches, you have cloud scenario setups. So Sophos has all that connectivity technology in place. And then the good thing is everything what you see can be managed from the Sophos Central, the cloud firewall, the on physical firewalls, the virtual firewalls, everything can be managed from the Sophos Central dashboard. So that's the ease and beauty. And last to, sum it up is, you speak about all the products what we offer. Everything can be configured, managed, deployed for any setup the customer has on the cloud, head office, branch office, remote workers, warehouses, chaoses, anything you speak about from the network infrastructure point of view. Our technologies are well suited and fit that particular situation and scenarios. So that's the breadth of offerings what we have.
Yes, correct. So partners, we are having full stack of products. It's not like Sophos just sells firewall, Sophos just sells endpoint. Sophos sells everything what your big customer needs to secure their network. Like it is having complete stack from firewall to endpoint to access points, switches, email, ZTNA. You name this questions, you name the query, and we are having the product in the answers. तो आई गेस हमने बहुत सारे ये जो पार्टनर्स के डी एंड डी आउट वाले क्वेश्चंस है वही आंसर कर रहे हैं। उसमें मेरा एक और एडिशन है, जब भी पार्टनर्स लोग कस्टमर को मिलने जाते हैं तो दे आर हैविंग एन इम्प्रेशन कि उन्होंने फायरवॉल लगा दिया है गेटवे पे, नाउ द नेटवर्क इज सिक्योर because they have deployed the firewall, they are secure. So my next question to you is the firewall only protection enough today, or it's a multi-layered approach we need in the current scenario where the cybersecurity threats and all which are coming, the firewall is the only protection we need, or we need a multi-layered approach?
Let's play a quiz with the audience. So I would like to hear from the audience, what do you feel? Is firewall only, a nice solution, or they need another solution? You can put on chat yes or no, so that we know that only firewall can help, or they need another security solution other than firewall. So what do you think? So as of now, only 4 have answered. We have a audience close to 90. Okay, so Yes. So what this means to you, partner, is you have scope for business. Firewall is just not the end of the story, right?
Yes, correct.
So the reason why to put this question to you is that we feel that firewall based diya or abhi account is closed. No, the account has actually opened for you from a Sophos point of view. As I said, see the problem with, customers, as I said, is the biggest problem is the resource crunch. And that is where you can leverage the product story of Sophos is that you put firewall, put the endpoint, show the automation, how the works is getting easier for the customer, put the switches, put the access point. We have a feature called ATR, active threat response, how that kicks in, how the attacker gets isolated, automatic. It's all automated. The good thing is nothing, you need to do. You don't have to send your engineer to do that. Everything is there unless and until is a high critical attack where, we have isolated a computer. Again, it's all configurable. You can configure isolation. You can maybe put a set of critical machines and say no isolation. So for an example, if it's isolated and if it is cleaned, threat is there out from the machine restores and the business starts. The same thing flows on the VPN as well. So if the same remote worker is working on a VPN with a ZTNA, that also works for them. If the customer cannot afford a ZTNA, he has an endpoint and a Sophos firewall. That where also the synchronized security moves. So the question in short is, firewall alone cannot, help. And I'll give you two aspects of, to answer this question. So the one aspect is what I would love, all our customers to have, but you would agree with me, it's not, viable that, but yes, there are few customers who are, but most of them would pick and choose a product which suits their infrastructure well. It cannot be Sophos every time. But yes, as I said, I like if you position all Sophos and the customer is using these, all are industry leading product. You saw, that's tested and recognized by the industry. So it's not like I am saying it. The industry leaders, research organizations are also saying that yes, Sophos delivers what it promised. So if you see here, we have, the wireless, ZTNA, endpoint security, switches, everything from the network point of view, is there, protection point of view is there. So the Sophos ecosystem is really broad, so we would like that when you start a business with the customer, just don't stop with the firewall, speak on the endpoint, speak on the email security. Okay, that's where you get that leverage. You would be different from the other partners, and you can showcase Sophos, that how Sophos is making your life simpler, because everything is in one console, management is there, automation is getting built, which you don't have to pay for. And that's where, it helps for a smaller organization. So one part is if it is a Sophos ecosystem, or if you're proposing a Sophos ecosystem, I would be happy, because everything comes under one window for us. But take a scenario number two, that if it is not a Sophos ecosystem, will Sophos be able to protect it and give that visibility? So the answer is yes. If the customer is not using Sophos products, but want that our dashboard gives that same visibility, it is possible. So if you remember, my slide where I mentioned about the differentiator, what we have is synchronized security and XDR integrations. So that XDR integration is, now this is for customers who go for endpoint, okay, with the XDR. When the customer goes with XDR endpoint, and if they are using, you can see the logos, I don't have to name it. If they're using any one of the product from here, they can integrate that product on the Sophos Central, and Sophos Central will start pulling the security events from these particular products and showcase it to you on the Sophos Central dashboard. So that's where we differentiate. And the good thing is it is all included. So today the customer has a third-party firewall. Tomorrow he gets some backup solution. Then he moves to O365. Later he brings another authentication. We don't care. That is included in the license. As his environment grows, as his network grows, as the organization grows, whatever product comes in, which are supported in the integration now. So it's just not limited to this. We are increasing our portfolio from the integration part as well. So they can hook to this product, pull the security event, push it to the XDR data lake. So all the security events would be in the data lake, and the customer has a full breadth of visibility. So initially, when we started, the integration, it was only Sophos products. But then we understood that, our customers need that flexibility. They have certain investment also done. Maybe you would reach a customer, but the customer would say, "I have invested." Then also we say, yes, we can get that product also in the particular Sophos Central dashboard. That actually also is a good point to convert your sales, because you are not saying that, okay, sir, if you are using a third-party endpoint, that means, okay, you cannot sell. I'll give you a use case which I was discussing. The meeting which I had yesterday, that customer is using nothing of Sophos. He's using a Fortinet firewall. He's using a CrowdStrike endpoint. Okay, he's using a Checkpoint Harmony email security, but still we sold him services. So the MDR what we sold to the customer. Okay, so the long story short is this: the story of sales doesn't end there. If it is a non-Sophos environment, still we can position services, because these different technologies have different dashboards. We give them services which would consolidate all their security events and alerts on one dashboard, and that's where the visibility and story builds. So what I'm trying to tell is, don't back off if the customer is not, there is no opportunity for you to sell, but try to sell services, that is the MDR services, so that they can leverage out of that particular solution of Sophos MDR.
Yes, correct. And now onwards partners, बिकॉज हमने तनवीर हमने स्टार्ट से वाई सोफोस, हमने उनको कंपटीशन के अगेंस्ट कैसे विन करना है, व्हाट आर आर यूएसपी वो बता दिया, द इंसेंटिव्स, द कटिंग एज टेक्नोलॉजीज एंड ऑल. सो माय लास्ट एंड एंड अप सेशन क्वेश्चन इज कि हाउ यू समराइज सोफोस रोड मैप फॉर द फ्यूचर ऑफ साइबर सिक्योरिटी, लाइक वेयर सोफो स्टैंड्स इन फ्यूचर.
Good. In fact, I would like to ask this question to partners. I know the partners, would be selling other technologies. Do you see, a roadmap from other OEMs? Do this share you their roadmaps, that what they are going to
So partners,
get
you can
into
say
the
yes, no,
public?
do any
Maybe
of
maybe on
your,
public, yeah, maybe or
yes.
to the public, that see, this is the roadmap which we are planning to get. And
Does
the
any of
reason.
the OEM has shared any plans with you regarding their roadmap or their vision where they want to go in future? Like,
Correct. And I was expecting this. The reason I asked, no OEM, does that. Okay. And Sophos, thinks broader on the technology, and we would love to share, what the customer would like to know, that now they are investing an amount in a particular OEM. They would also like to understand what's the ROI, and what's the future goal, what's the plan of Sophos, and the same question, was asked to me, that, we are investing in Sophos for 3 years. If I don't like in a year, then what? Now, this is a very valid question which the customer asked me, and I said, sir, we are continuously evolving. And the good thing is, our CRO, Chief Product Officer, Mr. Raja Patel, has made an roadmap available to customers. So it's a customer facing roadmap. So this roadmap is a customer facing roadmap, which I'm, showing with you. And very
okay.
soon, maybe on your partner portal also, this would come up. So this is where the transparency is, so we
Yes.
are keeping that thing transparent to partners and customers, that see, this is what we are planning to get. But again, see, this should not be something which, you should convince the customers to pick up the deal. This is a roadmap. Okay. So roadmap is something which would come up. So the feature is not there in the product right now. So I'll just share my screen. So see, the future of cybersecurity now, what we see is, and that's how we have planned the entire roadmap. So one of the thing which I would like to put here is ITDR. How many of you are aware of ITDR, the Identity Threat Detection Response? Earlier, no one used to speak about it. Sorry, no one used to speak about it. But if you see that, as I started my discussion on the threat landscape, and the threat landscape started evolving from your on-prem to cloud to network to VPN, now on the identity providers. So what we have seen, and if you see the Sophos report, the threat report, or the weekly, or sorry, or the yearly report, or Gartner's report, what they are trying to tell is now that the attackers are exploiting credentials. Earlier, they used to, exploit and break into your environments, but now they log into your environments because they have the credentials. And that's where a very key important part is to monitor on the identity. And that's how, we plan. So the good thing, for Sophos is we are actually attached with what's happening in the wild. When I say wild, it's the internet. And from there, we collect all the information and we get that feature in the products. So for an example, during COVID, all moved on the cloud. Two-factor was the, way ahead for, login credentials. Attackers started to capture the two-factor cookies on the computer. We saw that, we bought a feature. So if you go on endpoint and if you see, you will see a feature called which is monitoring your two-factor cookies, which are there on the system. So what I'm trying to tell you is we evolve with the industry, we evolve with the threat landscape, and that's how the entire roadmap is planned here. So if you see here, every category which I spoke, because the breadth of technology what we offer is huge, we are introducing new feature capabilities as well. So that is what you see here. So this is the timeline. See, the timeline may change based on priority. You all agree. Okay, the roadmaps are built, but the timeline can fluctuate up and down. So I'll not go, block by block, but it is there for you to look at. So you see what's happening across all the Sophos product portfolio. I'll just quickly take you with for an highlights on the endpoint and XDR and MDR. So if you see here, we have integrated. So we have acquired a company called SecureWorks, and their expertise is services only. So they offer services to the Fortune 500 companies. Sophos has acquired that company, and we are now integrating our platform and their platform. So it's in the conversion stage now. And that's what you see here. So this is released. See, if you see here, we are trying to pull in the good features and functionalities from their platform. So their platform is called Tejas. Our platform is Sophos Central. So if you see here, Tejas XDR in Sophos Central. So that is going on, okay, making a unified dashboard for their MDR customers, which is SecureWorks, and Sophos MDR customers, getting it all consolidated in one dashboard. So that's going on. Security operations is SecOps. So security operations, important agent footprint. So Sophos is continuously making sure that whenever we get any new product feature, we make sure that the performance should not impact the end user machines. The user experience should be always better on their end systems, and that's where we constantly make a check on any new feature we introduce. Is it impacting the customer machines and user experience? So if you see 40% less memory and lower CPU impact on the compute, sorry, on the systems within your agent update. We have bought an AI capabilities because we know, customers who buy a product are not a security champ, right? So they don't understand sometimes security. There are certain customers, they are exceptionally good. They know what product they are buying and what needs to achieve. But for the customers who don't understand this particular early access program, which was now it is available to customers, this works as your AI buddy for cybersecurity in your organization. You can ask questions, I just showed our customer yesterday that I went to a threat hunt and I just explored that which are the threat actors which are attacking the XYZ sector. Okay. For an example, energy sector. Okay. I put that, and that particular threat hunt gave me a list of all the threat attackers. That these are the threat attackers attacking. So this is what you can get from the AI. You don't have to switch console to an AI portal. There are so many AI portals available. I don't want to name either any of the one, but you get that in the console itself. And it's part of the same license. And the customer who bought XDR paid us at that point of time. They got this as a free upgrade. We are not charging like the other competitions are charging for AI. We included this. So again, going back to the ROI and the total cost of ownership, if you relate these features and functionalities with the customer's ROI, they're getting a better ROI. And coming back to the customer's question, which he asked me, I said the same thing, that sir, we are getting features included in the license which you paid me maybe a years back or 2 years back, but this is updated and there, because competition are charging you for this. They are giving you limited access, but we are not. And then the new feature capability which I spoke about, the threat detection and response. MDR, trying to get an AI capability in MDR advisory services we have introduced. This is the PT services where we do PT of your internal, external, wireless, and your web applications. Trying to get a better dashboard, easier, simpler for your VA detections, which is the managed risk, is a product which is part of the MDR portfolio, which does a continuous check of what's happening in your environment, and that's a VA check. We have tied up with Tenable for this. Tenable is a leader in this particular sector and shows all the vulnerability in an environment so that you can quickly act before an attack can happen. Firewall and email, firewall health check, I spoke about it, which is coming in version 22, CIS benchmark. Email security, getting features, functionalities to make sure end users are protected by monitoring what's happening inside the environment, who is forwarding what internally. So that's where the contact trace would come up. NDR for unmanaged devices, your switches, your video conferencing, your attendance machine or endpoint where you forgot to install a particular AV, that would all be monitored by the network detection and response. I'll not speak more on this. We are, actually on clock, so I'll try to push early. These are some partnership which you're planning to do. I spoke about Tenable. We are, soon going to get up a new dashboard, which is a workspace security, which would give you more, protection and an isolated environment. So this is what we are planning to get soon by Q1 2026, as you see here. And we are also tying up with Rubrik for backup integration for Microsoft 365
Okay.
solution. People can opt, and this all thing would be in central. This is in central, the Tejas. This one also would come in central, the island and the Rubrik. So all these integration would be part of the same dashboard. We are not moving you out of that dashboard. Everything would be seamless, and for you it will be all stitched in one particular dashboard. So that's the idea behind the roadmap.
Okay.
And what Sophos plans for the cybersecurity, going forward. Yeah, over to you, Suchita.
So partners, this is all what we have thought, that this might be the common questions when you are facing the customer. The customer will ask this kind of questions to you, and we have tried to cover up major things which we thought that is a day in day out challenge for you. So see, if you all knows that acquiring a new customer in the market is right now very difficult scene. So you can go back to your existing customers, see how Sophos is having the vast portfolio. If you are sold any one firewall to any of your customer, just go back to that customer, discuss regarding the other solutions what Sophos is offering, and you can generate a huge bill of material for yourself, for your organization. Unless and until you don't speak, the customer might not reach out to you for other problems. If you sold only firewalls, customer might reach out to you for the firewall problems only. They are not reaching out to you for the email solution. They are not reaching out to you for the services like MDR and all. They are not reaching out to you for an email, which is right now in huge demand in the customers. So my request to all of you is just reach out to all of your customers, all of your existing customers. Speak about their product portfolio, what Sophos is offering, and you need any kind of. Once again, I am saying, if you need any kind of help positioning any of the products, reach out to us. Me and my team are very eager and happy to help you. So that's all from my side. I think now we can move on to the funniest
Yeah.
part of the session, which is quiz. All right?
Thank you so much, Suchita. Right? Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Tanvir. I think this was the most insightful and effective discussion we ever had on Sophos. I'm sure हमारे जितने भी participants हैं, right? So we have close to 95 participants who joined, right? I'm sure आप लोगों को कुछ ना कुछ यहाँ से definitely सीखने को मिला रहेगा. ठीक है. हम लोग जब ये सेशन जब आपका कन्वर्सेशन हो रहा था सुचिता तनवीर, उसी टाइम पे देयर वर क्वाइट अ फ्यू क्वेश्चंस दैट हैड कम अप, राइट? सो
Okay.
as Suchita mentioned, we do have the Mantis quiz, right, lined up, and then after that we do have some amazing prizes. But before we go to the quiz, right, we will open the floor for questions तो अगर किसी को कुछ भी क्वेश्चन है, प्लीज टाइप देम इनटू द क्वेश्चन बॉक्स, एंड देन आपके पास तनवीर है, आपके पास सुचिता है, राइट? दे विल बी देयर टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चंस. सो आई थिंक एक क्वेश्चन जो ऑलरेडी मैंने चैट में देखा था वो ये था कि सोफोस के पास भी वर्चुअल फायरवॉल है क्या, जस्ट लाइक पालो अल्टो. सो दैट वाज वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चन दैट already
Yeah.
came up while you guys were in your conversation.
Correct. So I was also just browsing through some questions. So yes, to answer what you just mentioned, yes, we have a virtual firewall which supports similar to any other OEM, just not like Palo Alto, but you'll get all feature functionality similar to what you're getting in a physical firewall, in the virtual firewall, except for the hardware capabilities which we are introduced in the hardware, like the extreme processor, the NPUs, that are something which would not be part of it. But yes, from the OS point of view, we have a virtual firewall for AWS, we have a virtual firewall for Azure, okay, and for Nutanix or Intel hardware platform. So yes, to answer your question, we have a list of virtual firewalls. You can hunt for a KB article on the internet and you'll get that details of what uh, are available for virtual file from the Sophos end. There are certain prerequisites when you are mapping a virtual firewall. So just reach out to ITCG or you can hunt for an article on the internet.
Awesome.
There was another question from Anil, if I'm not wrong. Does the device work
Yes.
without a support subscription? The answer is yes, but something which is coming to my mind, that why would a customer use it without a support subscription? Because the problem is he buys, say for an example, he spends 60,000 on a particular firewall. After a 6 month or something, if any malfunction happens on the box, end of the day, everything is an electronic, right, equipment. And if there is no warranty for it and he buys, and if anything happens in 3 months or 6 months, that investment goes in vain. So I would recommend, yeah, if I don't know what use case Anil is trying to put here, but not recommended to go without a support license, okay, because then it will be a challenge from the investment point of view, partners commitment point of view. So it's better you don't push position without a subscription license. And anything.
I think there is one more question or an ask, maybe, right? So link of migration project steps. So I
Yeah,
think
so correct. Yeah.
please.
So when I share that PDF with you, Sanket, that maybe you can share it with the audience. They have that link in that. So if you
Okay.
want to put me on chat, I can put it on chat right away. So I have that ready with me. So I'll put it on chat as well. So that
Surely.
people can quickly, use that. So I'll share it just by the time we speak on some other things, I'll just put it in the audience.
Awesome. Okay, team. Everyone, we still have some time left for questions, and before we move on to the more exciting part, as Suchita mentioned, right, the quizzes and prizes. Any other question?
I think we are having one question from Rahul. So placing Sophos even when client is using other firewall could be an entry gate. By offering Sophos Central, what we can manage? Is it network security, endpoint security, and can it be even CCTV?
So placing Sophos even when client is using other firewall could be an entry gate. By offering Sophos Central, what we can manage. See, Rahul, yes, it is. Usually customers, when we position the synchronized security, they go for this situation wherein, they go for our firewall, which sits behind their I mean, before their firewall from the network point of view. They switch Sophos firewall and their existing firewall. And with the endpoint in place, then the synchronized security works. So there are customers, who do that. And then slowly when the firewall which they've invested on, maybe an XYZ brand, when that expires, that firewall moves out and then Sophos takes over there. So yes, that is possible. You can do that. You can put the firewall and use that from the customer, and with the endpoint, with the central and the synchronized story, that would help and make sense. So I would say yes, possible to do that. So not a issues.
Okay. And I think Virendra has informed that vulnerability found in Sophos Firewall by CISA. Is it true?
See, end of the day, the problem is not vulnerabilities. The problem is how fast we fix it. That's important. And you'll very soon see, we are getting some feature functionalities on the firewall where we would be monitoring our firewall for, any such attacks. And one of them is, I don't know if you've heard about this particular article called Pacific Rim. If you have heard about it, just read on
Okay.
that. So wherein hackers were hacked by Sophos is the entire story. So and a Chinese group of attackers, they hacked a firewall in their lab, researching on to find out vulnerabilities. How we came to know and how we positioned and were acting and monitoring them. So just read out this and you'll come to know that how we work on getting this thing prioritized. The problem is not vulnerabilities. The problem is how quick you act on it, because every software in the world, it can be Sophos or non-Sophos, cannot be protected with vulnerability, as vulnerability would stay with everybody who develops a software. But as I said, important is how fast it is addressed, and that's where we always make sure that anything which is there in the particular product, we make sure to get it fixed soon. We have an option called automatic patching. If you have heard of Secure by Design, it's an organization in America which does that. If you opt for a Secure by Design project, all your solutions from development till the delivery of the product to the end user should be secure, and Sophos has opted for that program. So if you can search for that, Sophos Secure by Design. So that will answer your question that if there is anything such happens, how we quickly act on it and we remediate it. That's what is something what you should look for. Vulnerabilities and everything would be there with all the OEMs across the globe, but how quickly we address, what are the steps we are taking to address it, that is important. So make a note of this, Secure by Design. And in the version 22, you'll see a services which will speak on how we are monitoring the devices if there is any attack, which is again we are USP against the competition.
Thank you so much, David, for taking that. There is one more question. Is Sophos Firewall UTM support? So I think Praveen is trying to ask, okay, is Sophos Firewall support UTM?
Is Sophos Firewall UTM support? See, we had, I don't know what Praveen is trying to ask, because we had a product, Astaro UTM9. So I don't know if he's trying to ask that, do we still support that particular product? If your answer, your question is that, so yes, it is still supported with UTM. Sorry, the UTM9 product is still supported by Sophos. Okay, but very soon this would go end of life, because our focus is now on the XGS and XG firewall. Because if you see the UTM9 firewall of Sophos, which is acquired from Astaro, there are no new feature and functionalities getting added there. The only thing what we are doing is we are maintaining the firewall, having some security patches. That's what we currently are doing on that particular environment. So that is what is there in that particular version. And apart from that, if you're trying to ask that do Sophos XGS firewall is a UTM, yes, it is a UTM. It is a next generation firewall. It is an enterprise firewall. Whatever Gartner quadrant speaks about, Sophos XGS firewall has that features, capabilities of a UTM, of a next generation firewall, and an enterprise firewall. So
Right.
hope I answer it.
I think that did answer the question. One more question from Virendra Vishwakarma. Uses blockchain to ensure tamper-proof logging and auditing. Is this feature available?
Need to understand, Virendra, can you maybe highlight maybe more in what you're trying to portray here, the blockchain and...
Virendra, if you can elaborate on your question.
No problem. Maybe what you can do is you can connect with the ITCG team and
Yes, you
maybe
can
get
connect
in touch. You
anytime
can get
with
on
us.
call and we can understand what you're trying to understand, what you're trying to portray from the blockchain so that we can answer your question well.
And I think Amol sir is having one question that Sophos, which is an access fund price with subscription are very high as compared to competition. Is there any possibility to sell this, which is an access points only with warranty or managed by locally?
See, yes, the UI, the devices have a UI, okay. But on the pricing, you can work on the pricing. I'm sure, Suchita and team would have some exciting, options and benefits, which you can, work on with the ITCG team. But if without the subscription, yes, you have the local UI, but the problem is the warranty guarantee also is something which gets covered there. Firmware upgrades also get covered there. So that's all, included. So I would recommend that, you can work out with the ITCG team to get, what you are looking for from the price context point of view. I think so. The discounting and
And I
everything
guess I guess Tanvir,
is
in the
workable.
market na the OEMs have not defined because the separate pricing, but they are what they are selling is the access point with 3 years warranty. It's only they are also saying the access point with 3 years warranty. 3 years warranty. It's only we are giving them a subscription and they are not giving them the subscription. The price includes the warranty also, but because they are not defining two different line items,
Correct.
it's like they are not charging us for a warranty. They are
Yeah,
charging you for the warranty and subscription. It's just
and it's
they're not
included.
highlighting it in a separate item.
It's included. Correct. So I put the
Also,
migration link on chat for people who wants to.
awesome. Thank you so much, Tanvir. Also, just to add something to this specific question, ये switches access point के pricing के लिए, we have, or Sophos rather, has launched something very, very excitingly, okay, called Network in a Box, all right, which has a lot of benefit when it comes to pricing. Please stay tuned till the end, okay, and then we have scheduled or we have organized a specific session just talking about network in a
Network in a
box,
box.
right? So please stay tuned till the end, okay? And then you will get more details, and that will blow your mind up, right? When it comes to pricing. All right. So if there are any other questions, please type them. But taking the time
I guess
constraint,
I think we need to move on this to
yes,
it
we
because
will move on to the more exciting part, okay?
yes.
And then that's our question, right? Or the quiz. Uh, I think you guys can see a QR code on your screen. Please scan this QR code, and it has some very basic questions. All right, your name, your email address, your phone number, blah 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 blah, and then please share your feedback about this session. I know some of you have shared your feedback already in the chat, right? Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate your kind words. लेकिन अगर आप 2 मिनट सिर्फ ले सके, मैं ये क्यूआर कोड वाला पूरा स्क्रीन यहीं पे रख रहा हूं. अगर आप ये स्कैन करके आपका अगर फीडबैक हमें लाइव दे सके, would be very very beneficial, and we will move on to the quiz right after the feedbacks are shared. I'm gonna leave this screen on for 2 minutes, right? And then we will move on to the quiz. एंड आपके दूसरे जो भी क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे जो हम लोग ये सेशन में आंसर ना कर पाए, आई प्रॉमिस यू दैट यू नो we will raise that up with Tanvir, okay, and then we will get an answer for your question, right? So भले ही ये पूरे सेशन में आपका क्वेश्चन आंसर ना हो, बट तो भी आई वुड अर्ज यू, आप ये चैट में या तो क्वेश्चन आंसर में आपके क्वेश्चन डाल दीजिए, एंड वी विल गेट बैक टू यू, or someone from ITCG team will get back to you. Guys, please take 2 minutes and fill up this feedback. I'm gonna keep that on the screen for a minute and then we will move on to the quiz. All right. I think it's time. We will move on to the more fun part. I'm gonna share my screen again. Everyone, please be ready. All right, guys. Everyone ready? Let me just share my screen. Do you guys see it? If someone can confirm. Thank you, Vijay Kumar. All right. You have the QR code on the screen. Please scan it and join the quiz. I am going to put up a notice out there.
So just request, just type your proper name so that we can identify and we can send the vouchers. Don't type the random name or your nickname.
Yep. Very good very good note, Suchita. Thank you so much. Also, मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ सबको, आई थिंक ITCG में से भी किन किन लोगों ने ज्वाइन किया था. Please make sure you guys don't join this quiz. This is not for you. Okay, we have 26 players ready. We have more participants. We have at least 80 participants still active. We need to have more players. Come on, guys. Do you want me to go back and then put the QR code on the screen? Let me go back. There you go. That's your QR code. Please join. I'll keep that active for 1 more minute. You do not want to miss this opportunity of, taking part into the quiz and then being a winner, because the prizes are really exciting, right? We kind of got our heads around it and it is amazing. You don't want to miss this. Okay. 34 players, 35. Let me know when to start. 36. Come on. We can do more. We can do more than this. We need to reach 50. Everyone. All right.
So I guess we can just start the quiz.
Yeah, I think let's just get started. Okay, on your screen, the first question will come up. Be ready, players. And then again, I mean, ये जो है, this is more like fastest finger first, right? आपका सिर्फ आंसर ही सही नहीं होना चाहिए. You also need to be the first one. Okay? All right then. Here we go. Your question number 1. What is Sophos best known for? And there your options are data analytics, cybersecurity solution, cloud storage, video conferencing. Come on. And your time's up. Okay.
Oh.
32 people answered cybersecurity, and that's correct.
Majority of you knows what Sophos is. अभी बस business करना है.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Now let's see who is leading.
See, again, we don't know what Pingu is. तो जो भी पिंगू है उनको अपना करेक्ट नाम और करेक्ट ईमेल आईडी देना पड़ेगा. बस हमको नहीं पता हु इज पिंगू.
यस पिंगू. एंड देन अगर आप जीतते हो ना, ओके, तो
फिर
आपको
आपको
ये
प्राइज
प्राइज
भी
मिस नहीं
पिंगू
करना है.
जैसा मिलेगा.
सो प्लीज मेक श्योर आप अपना सही नाम डालो, एंड देन एटलीस्ट आपका ईमेल एड्रेस डाल दीजिए right in the chat, so we can reach out to you and then we can share the prizes. Okay, I'll move on to my second question. Everyone ready? On your cell phone, your question comes now. It's coming up. Which product allows you to manage all Sophos security solutions from one cloud dashboard? Is
ये
that
तो ऐसा
Sophos
है कि ये
Intercept?
me and Tanvir has spoken about this particular word 100 times in this session.
That is true. And Sophos Central is the right answer.
Correct.
28 people got it correctly. One person said Sophos Intercept. I think Sophos Intercept is the endpoint, right, Suchita?
Yes, it's an endpoint.
And then XG Firewall is XG Firewall. All right, let's see who is leading. Is that Pingu again?
Yes.
It is. No!
No.
We have Swapnil Shinde from Pentagon System.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the correct name. Like we can identify and we can drop a mail to the winners because so that's what the request was, to save a proper name.
All right. Swapnil is the leader now, followed by Pingu. Pingu, please make sure that you leave your correct name and your email address and your organization's name in the chat. All right. Then we have Vijay Kumar. Okay, so those are our top 3 leaders right now. Okay, I think abhi और 8 question बाकी है, and then you guys can definitely come up. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Everyone ready? Here comes your next question. Sophos MDR stands for, that's an easy one. Managed data router, multi-device reset, managed detection and response, or malware detection robot. All right. And the right answer is managed detection and response. 27 people got it correct. Okay. 3 लोगों को लगता है कि it is managed data router. It's not.
It's not. It's a
Multi-device
kind of
reset.
service
No.
what Sophos is offering.
Okay. At least किसी ने robot तो नहीं डाला. Now let's see अगर हमारे लीडर बोर्ड में कोई चेंज आया है तो. This is very exciting, guys. And is Swapnil still leading? Yes, Swapnil is still leading the leaderboard. And then we have Pradeep Kumar, who was the fastest answering this question. And then we have Pingu on third. Come on, guys. Keep it up. Manas, Vijay Kumar, Rohan, you guys still have an opportunity. Okay, right? You want to make sure that you really pump up and answer the questions. I'll move on to my next question. Everyone ready? Question number 4 on your screen now. Sophos Central can manage only firewalls. This is like true and false question. Come on, very easy. All right, and false is the right answer. It can manage pretty much everything that Sophos has, right?
Yes.
So
So whoever has chosen true is not the right answer, because see, Sophos is having multiple solutions around 2021, and all products and all can services can be managed through a single platform, which is Sophos Central. So that's the beauty of Sophos.
yeah, and the only OEM to really provide that sort of a solution as well. Okay,
In a
there is
free
no
of
other OEM.
cost, like they are not charging you anything.
Absolutely, no other OEM does that.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if there is a change in the leaderboard. Oh, come on. And Pingu is on top again. Yay! And then we have
Think
Pradeep.
that's a Femina from inside. She has dropped a message in the chat. So
Awesome.
Femina, congratulations till now.
Yes, you are leading it. Okay, Manas was the fastest, along with Vijay Kumar. So you guys still have an opportunity, right? काफी कुछ question बाकी है. So keep it up. Now be ready for our question number 5, and it's on your screen now. Sophos provides protection against which of the following? Malware, phishing, ransomware, or all of it? You have to get this right. Come on. The right answer is everything. It's not just malware, phishing, or ransomware, right? It's all of it. Suchita, if you want to add
Yes.
anything to this.
No, I guess see, Sophos, everyone knows that Sophos provides multiple solutions for each and every of the concern related to cybersecurity. So it's all of them.
Awesome. और अगर इसमें एक और चीज ऐड करूं, right? So I'm sure everyone knows about awareness campaigns as well, right? तो सोफोस के पास उसके लिए भी सोल्यूशन है, right? आपको कहीं और जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. सोफोस कैन ऑल्सो गिव यू द फिशिंग ईमेल्स, राइट? सो वो भी फीचर है जो अवेलेबल है. सो मेक यूज ऑफ इट. एनीवेज
And
लेट्स लुक.
abhi tak Sophos was having two solutions, phishing threat and Sophos email. Now onwards, phishing threat, phishing simulation is already included in the email licenses. So if you are pitching Sophos email advanced product to the customer, then give them the information that phishing simulation will be a by default feature which is now included in email itself. Earlier it was on a separate purchase on a chargeable basis, but now Sophos has included it in email advance.
Awesome. Now the more exciting part, the leaderboard. Let's look at it. No change. All right. So we have Pradeep Kumar leading it, followed by Swapnil, followed by Manas. All right. Awesome. Moving on to the next question. Question number 6 on your screen now. Which technology increases detection and automates responses between endpoint and Sophos firewall? ये थोड़ा ट्रिकी है. एक क्वेश्चन तो ट्रिकी होगा, सब तो इजी होंगे नहीं. So think and answer. All right, the right answer is synchronized security. 24 people got it correct. Awesome, guys. You have paid attention to the entire fireside chat as well, and then you have got this correct. सुचिता मैडम, अगर आपको कुछ ऐड करना हो तो.
नहीं, I guess.
Let's look at the leaderboard. All right, then. A tight competition between Manas and Swapnil, right? I think Manas, you can still get on the top, right? So pay attention to the next question. Let's move on to all the players ready? Question on your screen now. Sophos Central is a blank-based platform. This is very easy. Cloud, hardware, manual, offline. This is very simple. It is a cloud-based platform, right? Available on cloud,
So it is
accessible
not a
from.
hardware or it is not a manual. So whoever answers the hardware and manual, it's a cloud-based platform.
Awesome. Now we look at the leaderboard. देखते हैं अगर यहाँ पे कोई चेंज आया है, नहीं आया है. All right, no change. Pradeep Kumar, Manas, Swapnil are still the leaders. Rohan, Prajna, Amol, you guys still have an opportunity. Keep it up. Okay, you have few questions left. I really want to see you guys coming on top. Now, be ready for the next question, question number 8. And it's on your screen now. Sophos offers protection against, very easy one. Viruses, ransomware, phishing, all of the above. And the right answer is everything, all of the above, not just the ransomware, right? But it offers protection against pretty much everything that you can think of and things that you cannot think of. Okay, right? So that's basically Sophos for you. Let's look at the leaderboard. Okay, no change. Even though Manas was the fastest to answer the question, Pradeep is still leading. Manas on the second spot, Swapnil on third. Rohan, Prajna, Amol, you guys still have the time and opportunity to win. I really want to see you guys coming on top. All right.
Just last two questions.
Last two questions. Question number 9 on your screen now. There you go. Sophos products are used by. Oh, I think Tanvir spoke about this during the fireside chat. He highlighted offices, school or hospitals or all of them. And the right answer is all of them. 32 people got it correct. Good job, guys. It is not offices.
The Sophos has been into each and every segment, like from the banking to financial services to healthcare to education to corporate. So Tanvir has already shared that particular slide where we are having footprints in each of these segments.
All right. Let's look at the leaderboard.
So now this will change.
Yay! We have Manas on top now. Good job, Manas. Followed by Pradeep, followed by Swapnil, Rohan, Prajna, Amol. You guys still have a very good opportunity. One more question left. Okay. And then you can be on top. But पूरे का पूरा leaderboard change हो गया. Good job, guys. Well done. Let's go to the next question. Okay, last question.
Last question.
Everyone ready? It's on your screen now. Which Sophos solution integrates endpoint, server, mobile, and network security? Come on. This is easy. Sophos Home, Sophos Central, Fish Threat, or Sophos Clean? The right answer is Sophos Central. Well done, guys. 32 people got it correct. 99% of the people were right. It's not just Sophos Home. Sophos Clean जैसा कुछ है क्या, सुचिता मैडम?
नहीं.
So there is nothing like Sophos Clean. Okay, guys. So the Sophos Central is the right answer, which integrates endpoint, server, mobile, and your network security all together. Let's see the leaderboard now. If there is a change, we'll find out. And Manas is the winner. Well done, Manas. Manas came on top, followed by Pradeep, followed by Swapnil. Congratulations. Well done. Okay. So you guys have an exciting vouchers, okay, on your way. Please make sure that you have dropped your email address, all your contact details in the chat, and the ITCG representative will reach out to you with your prizes, okay, and you will get that in the next few hours. But thank you so much everyone for taking the part in this. Everyone who were part of the fireside chat, sorry, the quiz, right? You guys were amazingly well done. We will send your prizes pretty shortly, and then a huge shout out and a big thanks to Tanveer and Suchita. I think you guys were amazing. Thank you for answering all the questions, Tanveer. Thank you, Suchita, for taking all those questions from our partners and then putting it across to Tanveer. I think, the way it was handled, the way it was done, absolutely mind blowing. And I just wanted to, thank you guys one more time.
Thank you to all the partners who has joined. Thank you, Tanvir, for this insightful session. And as I have said earlier, also reach out to us anytime you want any kind of help from our side. We are ready to help. So most of you have our contact details like email and phone numbers and all. So let's grow together. Let's position Sophos in a market in a stronger way, in a brighter way, and let's grow the business of ours.
Absolutely. Now, as a follow-up, we will send the recording of this entire fireside chat, okay, to all of you. And whatever questions that we could not take or could not answer, we will get the answer of those questions and then we will also send it to your way. Thank you guys so much. You
Thank you
guys
so
have
much.
been amazing.
Yeah.
Suchita, thank you so much. Tanvir, thank you so much for your time and efforts and answering all the questions. With that, we will take your leave.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, ITCG team. Take care. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.